Hey, it's Tesla Canuck here back with another video. Today I've got a bit of a gripe. I've got some constructive criticism for Tesla. I've had a pretty significant support issue with full self-drive and my purchase of full self-drive for my Model 3. So when I started my channel, I promised to give the real deal. The real ownership experience. And sometimes it's not sunshine and roses. If you are adverse to not hearing sunshine and roses, then maybe catch me on the next video. If you have purchased full self-drive, you might want to watch this video because you may run into the same problem that I did. So let's talk about my support issue. Okay, so let's go back to June of 2018 when I purchased my Tesla Model 3. On delivery, I also purchased full self-drive on top of the enhanced autopilot, and I didn't want to finance the full self-drive purchase, so I bought it separately on my credit card. And so anyhow, I picked up my car, drove away, all this kind of stuff, never thought about it again. And then about 6 weeks ago, I contacted the service center just to inquire, how's it going with the Hardware 3 rollout, just wondering when I might be getting it for my Model 3. And the person at the service center was kind enough to look it up on their system, and he said to me, well, you don't have full self-driving on your car, you didn't buy it. And I'm like, pardon me? And he says, no, our records show that you do not have full self-drive. And then he said to me, well, what does it say when you're in the app, in the upgrade section for your Model 3? And I said to him, I don't have an app menu item. Sorry, I don't have an update menu item in the app. I know all of my other friends with Model 3s do, all my YouTuber friends, my personal friends who have Tesla Model 3s, they all have this menu item in the app that says update. I don't have that. So he said, well, when you log onto your account, what does it say under your options? So I log into my account online, and I do a screenshot for him, and it says in the options, it says full self-drive capability. So not full self-drive, it says full self-drive capability. So I send that in, I get a reply back. It says, well, full self-drive capability is not full self-drive. Our records show that you don't have full self-drive, that you never bought it. And then at this point, I'm like, okay, well, yes, obviously there's a glitch here. So I packaged up my purchase order. I got a copy of my credit card statement, to unequivocally show that, yes, I did purchase the full self-drive. I send that back into the service center. I get a reply the following day. It says, okay, everything's good. You have full self-drive. Don't worry about it. We're going to contact you when it's time for your Hardware 3 upgrade. And I'm like, fantastic. So I didn't think about it again. And until yesterday, when, there's been a lot of reports about a lot of Canadians now starting to get the Hardware 3 hardware upgrade. And I was one of the first Model 3s in Canada, and I purchased full self-drive when I picked up the vehicle. So I figured I must be pretty close to being front of the line. So I went to inquire again, and I don't have full self-drive. was the response. And I still don't have the option in my app to look at updates. So what I did is I logged in, and if you scroll down like a little bit in your vehicle page, in about the middle of the page, there's an upgrade, place you can click on upgrade. So I click on that, and it comes up and it says, your Model 3 has enhanced autopilot. Click here to purchase full self-drive for $4,000. I'm like, oh, okay. So obviously it wasn't fixed. And at this point in time, I'm starting to get a little bit frustrated. And then I got a little bit more frustrated because there's a problem with support and service. Like, let's call it as it is, because you can't pick up the phone and call a human. So your only option right now, if you need support and you've got an issue such as this, you have to go and do a chat, an online chat. Okay, so fine, I go to the online chat, and I get a bot, right? And so I'm like, okay, human please, right? 20 minutes later, I finally, a human came on the chat and said, how can I help you? And so I went through the issue, blah, 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 blah. And the support agent on the chat comes back, well, you don't have full self-drive. I'm like, yes, I do. There's no record of it. Okay, so I package up the same stuff that I provided to the service center. The chat agent sent me an email, said to attach all the documents. I attach all the documents, I send it to the chat agent, and he acknowledges receipt and says it's going to be several days before we can get back to you. And I'm like, well, and I think the chat agent could tell I was frustrated, and they're like, we're sorry about this, and I understand it can be upsetting. And I'm like, well, yeah, if you give somebody thousands of dollars almost 2 years ago, and this is your second time being told after you've supplied all the documentation that we have no record of you making this purchase, I'm a little concerned. So I think there's two issues at play here. So one is trying to access support in a timely way. Something needs to happen. It's not working, because I spent on 2 separate chats last night 2 hours on this problem, and it could have been a 10-minute conversation with a human instead of typing back and forth with a service agent who's obviously multitasking because they were replying with answers that had nothing to do with my query, and then oops, sorry, that was for somebody else, right? So I think the people in support, I think they work hard. I think they're just overworked, or there's not enough of them, or something. Support is still broken in my mind, and it pains me to say that. I'm a Tesla fan. I'm out there in the community. I'm letting people drive my car. I'm pumping Tesla because I think that Tesla is a great product, and I'm very interested in getting more EVs on the road. So it pains me to say that there's a problem here, but there is, let's be honest. So the moral of the story, and it's still not fixed, by the way, I guess I have to wait a few days for somebody to get back to me. I've got all my documentation. At some point in time, I might have to get a little bit more aggressive about escalation. But if you purchased full self-drive, just make sure you go into either your app, make sure you have the update menu item, go into that menu item and click on purchases, and you should see a confirmation that you purchased full self-drive. If you don't have it on your app, try to go online and click on the updates just to confirm that Tesla didn't lose your money, that Tesla actually has a record of your purchase of full self-drive. So I'm hoping that this is a very isolated case, but I felt that it was important for me to bring this issue to light on my YouTube channel, just in case there are others who just assume that there's no issue, and they're going to get their hardware 3 upgrade in some type of queue that they're in. But if Tesla has no record of your full self-drive purchase, like for me, you will never get your your hardware 3 upgrade, because, well, you don't have full self-drive as far as Tesla's concerned. So that's it. I will update you guys on how this support ticket goes, and hopefully this is helpful to you. If only you double check to make sure that there isn't any issue with your full self-drive purchase. Thank you for watching. As always, click that subscribe button. Let me know in the comments if you've had any frustrating experiences with Tesla support. It'd be great to just start a dialogue about it. Tesla Canuck, over and out.